Hey guys, Lockup Legends and Lessons here. Just wanted to elaborate a little bit further on the last short that I dropped. Just to catch you up on that real quick. If you've not seen it, it's basically talking about the importance of how you speak to the COs, the guards, while you're locked up. And I'm not talking about in the manner of your tone of voice or anything like that. What I'm speaking about is when you have to communicate with the officers for whatever reason it's going to be, you're going to have to communicate with them at some point throughout your time. It might just be something simple as, hey, I didn't get any toilet paper this week when you all pass it out. Gotta use the bathroom. Where's my toilet paper at? Or it could be something, a bigger matter. Like you got to go through them for so many different things. They make sure that your information is on the pass sheet where you're going to your classes, to your sports events, to your religious services, to your job details, and it can get mixed up. And if you don't get let out, for whatever issue, whatever reason, they don't let you out of your cell when it's time to go to something, you can get removed from a pass list. You can even lose your job. So, they're not going to go against their own either, so the best thing to do is to talk to them if you need to. Hey, officer, I need this handled and straightened out. Got a job detail, maybe it's not showing up on your list up there, but I'm in cell that. I got pass every Tuesday for this and that. Could you straighten it out? Now that's pretty harmless, right? I mean, you got to communicate for little things. It seems like it's not that big of a deal, but it is. If you're always in their ear, talking to them, always got something to ask, always up there, I need this, I need that. People are watching you all the time. And they don't want to be thinking about, hey man, why is this guy over here always talking to officer such and such, old guard, da. Is he snitching? Is he telling? Why is he always out there buddied up talking to him? So there's a real easy way to avoid this. And it's smart to do this and listen to others' experiences as well and not have to figure it out on your own. You see some young guys come in fresh, young, dumb, and stupid, and they'll just go up not knowing that they're doing something wrong, by going up and asking, hey man, I didn't get my mail, where's it at, and they get wrapped up into a conversation. The guard might be like, oh, ain't you got a visit this weekend, and small talk will start up, and then your conversation goes from, I just came to get mail, to a 2 or 3 minute thing, and then the guard might even make you laugh talking about, man, you got them ugly girls coming up to visit you, but you in there every weekend, you might crack a smile about it. Everybody back in the day room, they're watching you. They're watching you. They're watching you laugh and joke with the guard. As innocent as it is, could be taken the wrong way. And the reason I had to elaborate on that is I've seen it come down to the worst incarnation of people being stupid. And I'm just going to throw this story out there for you right here. I'm not going to make this a long video. Just wanted to elaborate on the dangers of not being smart. So the thing that you want to do to avoid any situation is always take somebody with you if you're going out to talk to the officer. Now, if they're on your tier, which a lot of times there's a guard assigned to your tier. If they're on your tier walking around, sometimes they'll come in and play cards with people. They'll come in and joke around. It just depends where you're at. Some guards do that, most don't. So they'll be around there and they come in there, hey, no. I didn't get my magazine, man. You all up there reading in the bubble? I'll keep an eye out for it. So you can ask them things on the tier if they're on your tier. But as soon as you go out of your tier to ask them something, out of the control room area, which is it's like a vestibule in the front where all the tiers come into, and they're wrapped up there in their control bubble. People come out into that area, and they'll ask them stuff. When you do, it's a wise decision to take somebody with you. They don't have to stand right next to you, but as long as they come to that doorway and stand within earshot, they are your verification if it comes down to somebody trying to tell other people, hey, this guy's out here dropping dime. He's snitching on people. Why else would he be talking to the officer? And then you got a guy right there that's going to back you up and say, man, no, we're on the same softball team and they got us mixed up on the passes. I'm supposed to be going out to Big Yard for this other housing unit for our game, and they're not letting me out, and we done lost 2 games because of it. And then a lot of times, that kind of stupidity squashed. But prison is such a hypersensitive environment that people, honestly, they'll look for stuff because they get bored and they want to see if anybody's doing any little thing wrong. It's just hypercritical, and to be quite honest, it's pretty ridiculous at times how much people put stock into things that really don't matter, but it's still the rule of the land. So always take somebody with you when you go out there. And again, this is the the worst case scenario I've seen happen from this. It was a guy that I knew. He was on my tier. He didn't really talk to a lot of people. He didn't say too much. He kind of kept to himself. So I think he was socially not picking up on some of the cues, even though he had been locked up a little bit. Not everybody picks up these things. I mean, you can be locked up for a long time, and folks just don't understand. They don't understand there's a protocol and there's a way to carry yourself. Even though you're not doing anything wrong, you want to avoid that appearance. If you avoid the appearance altogether, no one will ever have to cast any kind of suspicion on you. They don't start to think in the back of their mind, oh, this guy's trying to get me locked up because I owe him $2 in picture tickets. People freak out like that. So the guy at the front of the tier, I knew him, not too smart when it came to social cues, and he just didn't pick up on some of these little things, and it ended up leading to him getting killed. So there was a bad bone that was put on this guy because pretty much what I was talking about. He looked like he was snitching when he'd go talk to the police. So they put a hit out on him, the gangs went out, they cracked this dude in the face. I remember I was actually coming in the front door of the housing unit, back from chow with my walking buddy. And as I'm opening the door, the thing kicked open, and I jumped back because I think somebody's coming at me at this point. So I stepped back, just squared up, ready for whatever, hoping that I'm not getting ambushed because this is two-way glass, or excuse me, that one-way glass. You can see out, but you can't see in. So I was like, oh man, you don't even know what's coming your way. So I jump back, and out he comes. He's holding his teeth. He's holding his teeth in his hand, and all this thick, dark blood is just running out like a faucet, and it's dropping everywhere. And I was just like, man. So I clear back, and I'm waiting to see what happens. And a couple police come out too. They're behind him, and I take that opportunity. I look, the door is open. I slide back onto my tier. I get away. I don't even want to be near the scene at this point. You see something, you can't be a good Samaritan in there because then people are going to think that you are sympathizing with said victim of whatever just happened. Then you might be next on their list. So you got to step over bodies sometimes just to get moving. And that's kind of what I did. So I just scooted on through, got to my tier. I was in the back of the block anyway, which was kind of nice. So I slide back there, and I'm just like, man, here we go. We're going back on lockdown. Going back on lockdown. Hope you got your showers. And everybody's like, man, I've seen it too. Who hit him? So I don't know. We'll come to find out. He got hit in the face with a lock and a sock. And that's, never heard of it. It's a lock and a sock. Hit you in the face. It's just a bludgeoning device. Bam! They can put anything in there. A big old can of fish. That's actually kind of funny when you get hit because you can smell it. And you're like, oh, somebody got smacked with a can of jack mackerel. That's why they took cans out of the prison system too. Back to pouches. But another story for another day. So, dude, man, walks out, teeth split up. I mean, he was holding on his mouth, and he was just gushing blood, just coming out of his nose, out of his mouth. And I was like, what was that for? I'm thinking about it. What did he do? Because usually violence is not indiscriminate. There's always a reason, like somebody owes you money, they said something disrespectful. It could be a whole litany of things. And I didn't know because, like I said, he kept to himself. He just kind of stayed in himself for the most part. He didn't really talk to people. But looking back, after, hindsight's 20/20, come to find out, gang kids that went out and they rocked him, they ended up getting shipped out of the unit. And this guy got shipped to another jail. And everybody said, man, he was dropping dime. He was dropping dime. He was talking to the police. And I was just like, oh, okay. I didn't see it, but I'm not going to defend the guy. Because then, like I said, you're in his boat too. So I'm just like, oh, okay. Well, that's crazy. And so time goes by. He gets sent to another jail. And word comes back. It was less than 6 months later. They got him. I mean, they got to him. They got him. They chopped him up. They killed him. He died in prison. You know, he got stabbed to death. From what I understand, he got stabbed to death, and that was because somebody thought he was snitching. A couple months after that, the guys in the gangs even came out and said, we heard the rumor going around. It was a bad bone, and they were wrong. Their intel was wrong, and it got a man killed for it. I mean, this guy had like 2 years left or something stupid. You know, he was just sitting around minding his own business, but not smart. Didn't take those cues. Didn't do one of the things that I learned. Wise man doesn't get himself into what the smart man has to get himself out of. He couldn't get himself out of that one. And he wasn't a dummy, but hey, he wasn't wise either. So not being smart and just thinking that nothing's going to happen to you because you know that you're not doing anything wrong, it might not be enough for the next guy who could be really, really stupid and is listening to bad advice from other people, which basically came down from his bad choices and not allowing someone else to just come listen and stand with him, you know, when he's going out there getting his stuff sorted out. That's it. So it's an interesting turn of events that a bad bone can get somebody's teeth knocked out of their face, get them sent out to another jail. You got to go through that whole DOC shuffle. They pack you up, inventory you, move you to another jail. A lot of times they'll use that just to break you. You know, jail to jail, just move you around, move you around, move you around. Once you start to get settled in, move you around, they uproot you. So it's no fun to go from, you know, joint to joint, wherever it is. It's even less fun, I would assume, being stabbed to death in prison. And I can only imagine, you know, just him looking back as he's dead right there. Why didn't I just take somebody with me when I talk to the police? So it's something smart to do. It's a good practice. You don't want to get caught up getting into long conversations with them. You can, however, there's a lot of times you can talk to the police because you're working a job detail. But still, you want to stay in groups, you know. There's certain guys on these job details that weren't smart. They would go back and they pull the police around the corner and be talking to them. So they look like they're snitching, little bag lunch bandits trying to get some sweaty meat. You know what I mean? It's crazy the things that you hear people snitch for. A bag lunch. It's like, it's terrible food. It's ridiculous. So I think it's more of an attention thing, personally, that a lot of them do that. They go that route. But like I said, it got dude man killed because he wasn't smart. He wasn't wise about it. Now, I couldn't elaborate to this degree in that short, so this was something I just wanted to clear up a little bit. How serious it can be if you're not wise in your interactions. And that's pretty much all I got on that. But just wanted to let y'all know too, it's getting a little cool back where I'm at. So I thought it was a good time to break out my prison-issued beanie skull cap that they give you. You know, actually, you got to buy it on a commissary. It was like $1 or something stupid. But this was actually one of the ones that I had while I was locked away. And I keep it to this day. Just like my trusty Hard Times cup right here between a rock and a hard place. Keep them around. It's a steady reminder to myself, if I ever want to go back doing the things that put me into prison in the first place, what kind of life you be living. So it's a daily reminder to myself. And again, the wise man doesn't get himself into what the smart man has to get himself out of. You can't always get out of some situations. Best thing to do, just don't get into it. Anyway, I hope you guys like that content. For more prison-related content, go ahead and slap that subscribe button like it tried to rough your commissary off from you. Thanks. We'll talk soon.